So today I wanted to go through a little bit and talk about my Notorious pre-release team. Now, I know pre-release was, what, a week and a half ago, coming up on release week this week. But I've been wanting to do this because I thought it was pretty cool. So what I want to talk about is who I used, obviously, what I liked, what I didn't like, what worked, what didn't work, and then we'll talk, see if by the end you can guess how many wins. Played 3 rounds, see how many wins we got. So I'll start out with my lowest point character. So started out with Batman. Now Batman comes in here and can be played at either 90 or excuse me, either 70 or 40 points. I played Batman at 40 points and didn't really get to use his trait too much. So he was mostly, since I played him at 40 points, he had sidestep. He'd occasionally be carried around by another one of the teammates and be used to tie characters up. So it wasn't super useful, but he wasn't not useful. Again, mostly a tie-up character. His stealth came in handy. Secondly, I had this well-dressed gentleman here, Gorilla Boss. So Gorilla Boss came in handy only from the standpoint, now I played him, well, he's only on one option, 65 points. And the reason I played, and he's the reason I played Batman at 40 points, I wanted to be able to bring him in at 65 points, really so that he could generate an expendable goon. So my expendable goon for him was Gorilla City Warrior. Now, expendable goons are something a little bit new in this set. Well, actually, it is new in this set. At least I've never seen it before. It's pretty fun. So he was able to come in on click 4, free. I always like characters that'll generate other free characters. So that's really fun. And he was a good tie-up piece. Again, I'd get him in there, tie up a character maybe, or use him to block out some of my other characters wouldn't necessarily get their butt handed to them. So he came in handy for that. Funny story about these expendable goons. One of my opponents, I think I took out 7 of these. I kept taking out a goon, and he would generate a new goon. I think most of the time he generated a new goon. Like twice he generated a hindering terrain marker. We were playing like 40, 45-minute rounds. And I took out 7 goons. I just kept bringing in goons. It was a lot of fun. Actually, I think that was how I racked up most of the points for that particular round. Then, my 2 MVPs. So first of all, I gotta bring in Zod, and I have to say this particular iteration of Zod I really like. Really brings back some old memories of good old classic Zod, especially that trait right there.
Son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod.
And come on, who doesn't remember that as a kid? Watching the old Superman movies, and I just really in love with this particular iteration of Zod. And fun story about the games I played, he got to take out Superman. So I think it was like my 2nd or 3rd round, he got to take out Superman, which just felt very satisfying. So what came in handy with him, especially in a DC set, obviously running shot, great, works really well. Got to use his trait once or twice. That was handy, and maybe 3 or 4 times. But the ability to see through hindering was an absolute must, especially when taking on teams that had Batman or where they had given themselves a Batman team ability. Absolute must. And again, kneel before Zod, just a great little trait. Some good flavor there. I really liked it. Lastly, we had Lightning Lord. Now, at first I started out with these 2 because they're flyers. I had them carrying around other folks, but by the end, I had them kind of carrying around each other. I played Lightning Lord at 100 points. I put him at full points because that Lightning Lord, I didn't really get to use the first portion of his trait. But when he was at 100 points, got to use it twice. and the fact that he had enhancement running around with this guy. So I would often keep them side by side or in some way, shape, or form. He would get to use his penetrating psychic blast, seeing through hindering. Zod would get to see through hindering, hit folks with his penetrating psychic blast with the enhancement, and maybe even perplex up his attack if I needed to, and then still had a perplex left over where he could perplex up his attack, hopefully after I got them down off of their, whether it was hindering, or excuse me, off their stealth. So all in all, it was a fun little team. Look here. Again, fun team. And the great thing about release and pre-release is you're going to play teams that you wouldn't normally play because you're playing sealed format. So that gives you some fun things there. But went 3-0. So defeated 3-2. The first one didn't, I didn't really feel like as much of a win because we had a new player that night, so I was training him how to play. I take it very easy on new folks. I think I took out one of his little gorillas there, just so we wouldn't have a tie, essentially. So I really consider it like a 2-0, but we all played, and by the end of the night, the new player was taking out some of our more tenured players, so that was good to see. But yeah, overall, fun team. Had a lot of fun in sealed. I don't buy, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, I don't buy a lot of DC. Don't get me wrong, I like DC. I think I might buy a little bit more of this set just because it has Zod and the rest of them in there. I would love that Ultra Chase if for no other reason than the sculpt. But overall, fun little team. Just wanted to come in here and make a quick video about this. I knew it would be too long for a short, but certainly not going to be a 20-minute video. But then again, they don't all have to be. So really appreciate you coming over watching this. What do you think? What did you end up pulling in your pre-release? What did your teams look like? Are you excited for release? What character do you most want from this set? I still need Necron. I'm excited for Necron. Again, not a big DC person. I just like the idea of the Black Lanterns. Not a huge fan from comics or anything like that, but I like the idea of them. So they look pretty cool. Oh, we did have one person pull the Wonder Woman chase in pre-release, and she was a beast. She was an absolute beast, honestly. But yeah, what are you looking forward to? Release game comes up this week for us, and looking forward to it, having a little bit more fun. Playing sealed is always a good time when we have the cash for it. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. See you real soon. See ya.